Hello, you sexy soul. Have you ever wanted to walk into a room and feel like the biggest badass in there? Have you ever wanted to feel so certain and sure of every part of yourself that nothing and no one in this world can faze you or take that away from you? Have you ever wanted to feel like a sexy motherfucker? Well, let me tell you, you're in the right place. Because I am Chloe Rose, founder and creatrix of Mystic Hearts, and I welcome you to the Become Unfckwithable mini course. And I even style it out when I stumble or my tongue gets tied. Because we are unfuckwithable around here. So welcoming you to my next mini course, Become Unfckwithable. And of course, I had to dress up like a baddie for this. And now don't get me wrong, becoming unfuckwithable is not all about getting dressed up and your sexuality. That is something else entirely different. But one of my own expressions of being unfuckwithable and being unapologetic about it is owning and claiming my beauty and my feminine sexuality. This is an expression that has come through it for me. So it might trigger you, or it might be something that you're not into. That is totally fine. It's all about peeling back the masks and the layers that are keeping you in a false sense of safety until you come home into the embodiment and the truth of who you are and finding peace there. That's the juicy part. Finding peace and strength and stability in the real, rooted, grounded truth of who you are. And that's what it's all about. So I've made some notes for this today. So this is the Becoming Unfckwithable mini course. This is just your intro video today to give you a taster. It's going to be short and sweet. And in the next few videos, so each of these mini courses are 4 in total, including the intro. So the next 3 classes, as I like to call them, are going to be a much deeper dive into the juicy details. And you know me, this is going to be quite a shadow work mini course. There's going to be shadow work in there because we can't embody our most unapologetic, unfuckwithable self unless we have faced the demons and the shadows that are giving us a false sense of self and holding us back from being our baddie self. So, I'm just going to read you through some of the notes. This is the Google description of unfuckwithable. And by the way, if you don't like swearing, you might as well turn off now because there's going to be a lot of Fs in this video. It just goes with the name. Unfuckwithable is a term used to describe someone who is completely secure, confident, and at peace with themselves. Ooh, juicy. We want that. Meaning they cannot be bothered. We are unbothered around here. Manipulated. No one wants to be manipulated. Or upset by outside negativity. So when I think of the unfuckwithable archetype, it's going back to that idea of walking into a room and just feeling like, yes, my energy is on fire, like I'm the shit. But also, no matter how anyone looks at you, talks to you, or interacts with you, you are that unbreakable person amidst the storm. Nothing can change you. You can observe and you can have an opinion about other people's thoughts, words, reactions, but it is not going to have any effect on this. It is the blueprint for emotional sovereignty, claiming control and sovereignty over our own emotional state, not being triggered easily. That is being unfuckwithable. Building unshakable peace amidst the chaos. And Lord knows we need that in the world right now, internally and externally. You know, as within, so without. This is why our own journey of self-discovery and self-knowing is so important and potent at this time. Protect your peace, own your worth, and then silence the noise. That's going to be part of the journey that we're going on. So let's have a look at some of the key characteristics of becoming unfuckwithable. These are just notes that I've written so that, anyone who watches me knows that I can talk until the cows come home, but sometimes I go off in tangents, and there's nothing wrong with that. But today I really wanted to make sure that you have a clear understanding, an inner standing of what we're going to be diving into for this course and how it concerns you and what it might do for you or help support you with. Key characteristics of becoming unfuckwithable: total self-acceptance, total, radical, unconditional self-acceptance. And this is a hard one. It's probably been drilled into us from a very, very young age that we have to try and be something that we're not, or achieve things to make us feel worthy of being ourselves. So you know exactly who you are. So the opinions and criticisms of others do not affect your self-worth. So it's about finding that compass within, being like, what do I believe in? What do I think is right or wrong? Am I leading with integrity? Do I follow up my words with actions? There's so many points to this that help to build a relationship of self-respect, which then help us to accept ourselves. You know, it's not about the physical, but if we do have an issue with body image, again, it's working on that. What's the root cause? Where does it come from? What's blocking us from feeding ourselves with beauty and love and kindness to make ourselves feel more beautiful, more kind and more loving? Okay, so it's a real journey of introspection. Next, key characteristic of being unfuckwithable: emotional independence. Your happiness and peace of mind depend entirely on you, not on external validation or events. Gosh, this is such a big one, because we can be like, let's take social media for the first example, because I am sharing this on my YouTube channel. We're like, oh, I'm not successful because no one liked my post, or I don't have X amount of subscribers. Gosh, like, how are we giving our power away to something so insignificant and something so really inhuman and unreal that is social media? I love social media, don't get me wrong, I love YouTube. But in terms of validating our own self-worth, no, it should not be a measure for that whatsoever. Then there's also like the office promotions and what job do we have? What car do we have? What home do we have? Have we got children? All of these social constructs that we are expected should build up our self-worth, because it gives other people validation that we are doing life the right way. But all of that is bullshit. What really matters is what's right in here and how we treat others in the world. A lot of people fall into this trap also of like jumping from one relationship to the next. That's a prime example of seeking happiness within someone else and not taking the time, the necessary time to pause, reflect, pour love into oneself. Otherwise, there's no room to grow. All right, this is one of my favorite ones. A characteristic of being unfuckwithable: strong boundaries. People don't like boundaries. People don't like boundaries, but strong boundaries are super important. You easily recognize toxic behavior and refuse to let it disrupt your mental space or energy. And I think this isn't just toxic behavior. It can be like if just someone accidentally interrupts you. You say to them, "Can I finish talking, please?" You know, there's a kind way of setting a boundary. We're going to go into this a lot more into one of the classes, which is an interactive video. We're going to be diving deep into boundaries, and we're actually going to be doing interactive exercises on different ways in real time, in real life, how we can safely and lovingly set really strong boundaries that can help us become unfuckwithable. Pew, pew. Okay, this is a great one. In vulnerability, so not vulnerable to drama. Gossip, negativity, or petty arguments simply bounce off you without causing any stress. I love this one. And that's like the ability to walk away and say, this isn't for me. This situation, this conversation, this job isn't for me, because it's full of gossip, full of negativity, full of arguments. Like, this isn't for me. I'm going to take a step back, because I am unfuckwithable and this is not serving my highest and best good. So that's that. Okay, so that is what it means to become unfuckwithable. So I would say if you are someone who struggles with boundaries, is a chronic people pleaser, has issues with your self-worth, if you don't feel good enough, if you've kind of just given up caring about yourself and about your own independent happiness, this course is for you. If you feel like you get really sucked into drama, or you feel like you do maybe talk badly about other people and you want to rein that in and change that, this course could really support you. If you're someone who's really easily triggered and emotional, so if you feel like someone could just say something and you'd cry straight away, or you would recoil and come back into yourself, and you feel like you really want to create those emotional shields of armor around you, this could be a great course for you. There's going to be 2 interactive workshops. So this is different from my last mini course called Weaving Magic, which was only 1 interactive masterclass. This is going to be 2, because we are going to deep dive into 2 at a time of these key points that are going to help us to become unfuckwithable. I'm going to talk about these now. So the first masterclass, so this will be in the next video, will be dismantling our armor, removing our fear-based defense mechanisms and triggers to land in our peaceful, sovereign core. Remember what I was saying at the beginning, landing in that peaceful place where we can just become, we can navigate through any storm. So that we're going to be going into that. We're going to be doing, I believe I've created 3 interactive exercises. Shadow work's going to come up. We're dealing with triggers. We're dealing with fear-based defense mechanisms, trauma. But this is going to really, really kickstart your own self-awareness journey. And I have, from a very young age, from a very young child, I have a personal development background. So this is all kind of stuff that I've been around for most of my life. So it feels very familiar to me, and it's an honor to share it. Also coming from the embodied coaching teachings, and being around that as well, and really helping to build confidence through doing and through facing, and just keep going. And then also the second the second interactive part of the next class is going to be around boundaries. So we're really choosing those two juicy ones in the first class, dismantling the fear, dismantling the armor, going head to head with our triggers, and then seeing boundaries as a sanctuary. I love that. Boundaries as our sanctuary, not boundaries as a mean person. Boundaries as our sanctuary. Boundaries as like wrapping ourselves in this silk gown of self-love. How people-pleasing is depleting our energy and manipulating others. I bet you weren't expecting that one. When we are people-pleasing, we are manipulating others because we are trying to manipulate how they perceive us and how they feel us by playing into what we think they want us to be, which is all rubbish. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all masks. It's all fake. It's manipulative. If we are people-pleasing, we are manipulating. Oftentimes without even realizing it. It's such a deep program, people pleasing. And we want people to like us. Then there's nothing wrong with that. But becoming unfuckwithable, we care a little bit less about what others think of us because we love ourselves and we know we are a badass. Okay? So that's going to be class number 1. And that's going to be a long, like full, deep hour-long class where you can take it in bite-sized chunks. You can come with your notepad, you can come with your favorite drink. I'm just got water today because I'm water fasting. And then class number 3, which again is going to be a long format interactive workshop, and that is going to be around how to detach ourselves from external validation. So it's kind of got taking it another layer deeper after we've faced the triggers, faced the fear, got rid of some of that, set up boundaries and recognize, okay, it's actually like okay to set boundaries. Boundaries can be a sanctuary. Then we're going to detach ourselves from external validation. So remember, that's the office promotion, the social media likes, the relationships, the compliments, all of that stuff. Don't get me wrong, like I love a compliment, but I don't need it to feel good about myself. Okay, so again, there's going to be 3 exercises that we're going to do together for that. And then the final one, and I love this one, emotional alchemy. We are going to learn how to turn inner friction into our fuel and our pain into our passion. That one's a powerful one, and that's why I've done that as the last one in the interactive series, because that's like fully taking our power back and being like, okay, I might feel really pissed off, but what am I going to do with it? I'm not going to let it get the better of me. I'm not going to let that external source make me angry. It's not going to ruin my day. I'm going to fuel that into something passionate. I'm going to write an angry poem. I'm going to channel that into art or whatever it may be. So yeah, that is how this mini course is going to look. And then we have the 4th and the final class. And I'm not going to tell you the details for this one. I want it to come with a little bit of an element of surprise, because when we're unfuckwithable, we can walk into any situation with a level and an air of confidence. But it is, again, it's going to be interactive, of course. In the last mini course, it was a very deeply guided quantum energy meditation. This time, I'll give you a clue. It's going to be more movement based, but it will be guided. And it's, again, just for you to work through at your own pace, but it's all going to help you embody that baddie energy, that unfuckwithable baddie in the storm who can keep walking and keep going, head held up high, walking down the street, flicking your hair, being like, yes, I'm the best. But also having a big, beautiful smile on your face and having so much peace and love grounded into your heart. That's what it's all about. It's not about being an asshole or a bitch. It's not about that at all. No, no, no. It's so much more about sovereignty, peace, and personal power so that we can show up more of our true selves in the world, inspire others, support others, be kind and loving towards others because no one is affecting us. So we just feel at peace 90% of the time. And if we want to, we can just get dressed up like a baddie and dance around our room and look in the mirror and be like, oh, hey, hot stuff. Because that is my vibe. Maybe that'll be yours too by the end of this mini course. So how to access this mini course? This is a members only mini course. I have a membership group called Mystic Elves. It is a very, very low cost membership group and you get a free 4-class mini course every month, plus bonus short videos and long format videos. I share it more intimately in my membership group. So if that's something you'd like to explore, you'll be so welcomed with open arms. All of the members are just so gorgeous and kind-hearted and badass, unfuckwithable souls. So you'll fit right in. Okay, you can find all the details of that in the comments. Sending you so much love. I'll see you in class 2. Get ready, babes, to level up.